So y'all might have missed this story because they dropped this story like late last night, didn't really, say anything about it, acted like it wasn't a big deal. But in my opinion, this is a massive story. This is a massive story. And this is even further confirmation that America is literally like Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. And the reason why I say that is because, like we saw what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah, they were a people that chose to give in to their own fleshly desires and put their flesh above God, put their own selfishness above God. And ultimately, they faced judgment for it because God was not satisfied with the way that they were living their life. So when you see a story like this, in the way that they just kind of snuck it in there without you noticing, you got to understand something. When we talk about deleting your child, mothers choosing to delete their children, I'm not going to say the actual word because YouTube will censor this video if I say it, but you know what I'm talking about. You can read the screen. The primary way that that is done is not through a procedure. See, most people think that the primary way that it's done is through a procedure, but the primary way that this is done is actually through a pill. And now this pill that I believe accounts for about 60%, y'all can fact check me in the comments, please, but I believe this pill accounts for about 60% of the actual procedures that these women are performing to delete their children. Now we have this story that comes out that says these pills can now be offered at retail pharmacies. It says the first of two drugs in medication blank, y'all can read the word, I'm not going to say it, previously had to be dispensed only by clinics, doctors, or a few mail order pharmacies. Now, if local drugstores or chains like CVS agree to certain rules, they can provide it. So now here's what's going on. Y'all don't even have to go to the doctor anymore to get a prescription to delete your child. Now, all you have to do is just go to CVS, go to a pharmacist who has the ability to write prescriptions, explain like, hey, I ain't feeling this no more. All right, cool. Here's a prescription. Here's your pill. Do this, XYZ. Boom, it's done. You don't even have to go to see a doctor anymore. They've literally cut out the need for a physician because they want to expand access. Because with all this stuff that's been going on, this Roe v. Wade stuff, the government is now saying like, hey, specifically the Biden administration, they're seeing like, hey, how can we put pressure on the FDA so that they can allow for greater availability for this procedure so that we can hopefully be reelected, win votes, get back in the good graces of the people that originally put us back in office. And now they're saying, hey, you don't even need a doctor anymore. If you're in a state that doesn't allow this procedure, then, hey, you could just get a fake address. You could just, get a fake address, send it to a friend. Your friend can send you the pills from the state that does allow it. And now you can have your deletion as often as you like without even seeing a doctor. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point this just becomes like an over-the-counter thing, like a Plan B pill. I wouldn't be, because I think this is already called like Plan C or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a Plan C pill where you could just walk into CVS, just get the pill. I don't know, maybe you're however many months you are in your pregnancy journey, you just walk in, you get the pill, you take the pill, and it does what it does. And you don't even have to see a doctor. You don't even have to see a pharmacist. I'm not saying we're at that point, but it seems like if by some freak accident Biden gets back in office, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. If they just start making this pill just over the counter, just walk in, grab it, boom, pay, walk out, you're good. Because to eliminate the need for a doctor is insane, in my opinion. But a lot of people think this is good. A lot of people think this is good news. And this is why I'm saying America is Sodom and Gomorrah, because what is good is now considered evil. Just the mere fact that I'm talking about this, just the mere fact that I'm challenging this idea is considered evil, is considered to not be the popular opinion. A lot of people just want to delete their children and they don't want any pushback. They don't want anyone getting in their business. It's their body, it's their choice. But what they don't know is that they're literally killing themselves. Why? Because they're selfish and they have no faith. And let me explain why I said that. This is a very interesting piece of information that I found. This is Verywell Health. I don't know all the ins and outs about Verywell Health. I don't know the exact specifics as to the validity of this, statistical breakdown. But I'm just going to read it because it's interesting. Reasons why people choose deletion. The number one reason it says is for financial reasons. People feel like they don't have the financial means to support children. And I get that. Things are getting more expensive, inflation. Rent prices are crazy. I live in California. Rent prices are crazy. Right? Food is expensive. Everything is crazy. Childcare is expensive. It's crazy. I get that. But sometimes I feel like this world makes you makes you feel like having a child is way more expensive than you can afford. Yes, it's expensive, but it's not as expensive as I think most people would believe. Yes, you have to make sacrifices. Yes, you might have to work a little bit of extra hours, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But that's the number one barrier, is financial reasons. The second one is just insane. Not a good time. It's not a good time. And you're going to see a theme throughout all of these. All of these reasons come from a selfish spirit. All of these reasons come from a selfish spirit. It's not a good time. It's not a good time for you to have a children, but it was a good time for you to lay down with who you lay down with. I don't get it. I don't get it. The third one is issues with the partner. So if you had issues with the partner, why did you lay down with the partner? I don't get it. I don't get it. Need to focus on other children. You need to focus on your other children. Absolutely. Your children need time. They need attention. They need what only their mom and their dad can give to them, which is affection, love, time, and attention. I get that. If you're healthy, if you already have children, if you already know the beauty that a child can bring to your life, if you already know the blessing that a child is to your life, it just, in my head, I just don't understand how you can choose to make that decision. Even if you don't feel like you don't have enough time to focus on a new baby because you have other children, I could never imagine suggesting that you just end the life of the baby that's in your stomach. And you know what it is? This nation has no faith. Financial reasons. Number one, 40%. Financial reasons. You have no faith. You have no faith. You feel like you're never going to be able to make enough money to provide for your children. You have no faith. You have no faith. If this nation had faith, then you would say, all right, look, I don't have enough money right now, but I know some way, somehow God is going to make a way. We're going to figure this thing out. I have family that can help me. I have friends. We're going to figure this thing out, but I'm not going to end this life of my child because of the obstacle that is currently in my face. I'm going to have faith, but we don't have faith anymore. It's not a good time. We don't have faith. Why is it not a good time? It's not a good time. Why? Because you're in school, you're pursuing something, you have issues with your partner, you're focusing on other children, you want to travel, you still want to party, you still want to, live that single life. It's not a good time. Have some faith. Why do you feel like your life is going to end just because you're having a child? That's a blessing. It's a blessing. Interferes with future plans. 20% interferes with future plans. Unprepared emotionally or mentally. Health issues. Unable to provide a good life. Lack maturity or self-sufficiency. Influence from family and friend. Don't want children. Don't want to place baby for adoption. And here's my whole thing with this whole conversation. Okay, if you get pregnant and you don't want that child, why are we so conditioned to end the life as opposed to have that child and place the child for adoption? We would rather choose to end our child's life than to give our child a chance at life. Even if it's not going to be the most predictable chance at life, at least it's a chance. And that's why I'm saying we're selfish and we have no faith. We have no faith. We would rather end our children's life than to potentially allow them to have a life. Even if it's with another family, even if it's out of state, even we would rather say, you know what, I don't want to put myself through this. And obviously, look, I'm not a woman. I'm a man. Like, I don't know any of what it feels like to be pregnant, to have a baby. I don't know any of that. But from what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, what I'm observing, it's like, women would rather in the life of their child as opposed to going through the process of giving birth and then having to give up that child. It's because we don't have any faith anymore. This nation has lost faith. It says, once implemented, the policy will allow chain and independent pharmacies to stock and dispense the drug to pregnant people with a prescription. It's unclear, however, how many pharmacies will agree to do so, considering it requires a special certification process. Until now, pregnant people could either receive the pill directly from their doctor or have it prescribed via telemedicine sent by mail, depending on their state's laws. It says the CEO of GenBio Pro, Evan Massagill, the generic maker of the medication, called the FDA's move a step in the right direction that is especially needed to increase access to abortion. Listen, of course, the CEO of the company who makes the medication is going to say that this is a step in the right direction because it's making them money. And that's what these people don't understand. That's what these women don't understand, is that, like, the health system doesn't care about you. The government doesn't care about you when it comes to you having a choice to choose to delete your child. They don't care Ultimately, they want you to stay content. They want you to be happy. They want you to vote for them again. And they want you to produce revenue. You're a product in the eyes of these companies. You're a consumer in the eyes of these companies. They want you to purchase these products. They want you to buy these pills. They want you to recommend these pills to your friends and to your families. They want you to have these procedures. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, we thought that this was... So many people think this is good news. So many people think that this is good news. So many people think this is good news. But let's just call it what it is. It's wicked. And you're literally killing yourself. You're literally killing yourself. You're literally putting poison in your body to kill a piece of you. If you look at your child, if you have children, then you know that's a piece of you. That's a part of you. And we literally have women who are putting pills in their body to kill a piece of themselves, and they're empowered by it. There's no faith anymore in this country. It's been substituted with my truth. Faith has been substituted with my truth. If I can hold on to my truth, there's no need for faith. Because if you don't think what you're doing is wrong, then you're just going to keep doing it. If you don't think what you're doing is wrong, if you have no standard by which you live your life, then you'll be pulled in any which direction. And you'll have no idea whether that direction is the right direction or the wrong direction. And that's why you need the Bible. That's why you need Jesus. That's why you need God in your life. Because when you have a foundation, when you have a standard by which you are called to live your life, then you could identify, oh, that's bad. Or, oh, that's good. That's the right way. That's the way I should be striving to go. We're never going to be perfect, but if we're going in the right direction, that's pleasing to God. But if we're choosing to go in the wrong direction, as so many of us are, and you've seen the stats, Christianity is going to be the minority religion. I think it's in like 5 to 10 years or something like that. People are leaving the faith. People are leaving Christianity. They want nothing to do with it. Young people who are coming up, they want nothing to do with Christianity because they don't understand it. And I think it's our fault as believers, as disciples, because we're not presenting it in a way that is truly what it is. Because if you actually knew who God was, how could you not love him? How could you not love God if you actually knew who he was? But we're not presenting God in a way that is allowing people to see who he truly is. And now we get so many of these people who would rather give in to their own selfishness, who would rather give in to their own fleshly desires and turn their back on God. Same thing that happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing. Same thing. So what do you think about this story? Do you think it's good news? Is this bad news? Is this an overreaction? Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Subscribe, like this video. I'm out.